My name is Nicolette, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about abortion. It's going to be a persuasive speech about abortion, so I'm really persuading you guys to not have abortions. So an abortion is the deliberate termination of a human life during a pregnancy. It can happen between the first 28 weeks of a pregnancy. You can have an abortion by either surgically removing the baby or the fetus, or by taking a pill which causes you to go into a miscarriage. And it's just like, and when you have the miscarriage, it's just like you're having a heavy period with intense pain and cramping. But other than that, it's just like you're on your period. So the suction abortion may take 30 minutes or so, during which some women may experience pain and intense cramp, and moderate pain and intense cramping. With saline abortion, premature labor is induced. So sometimes with the aid of a prostaglandin, which is not an endorphin, but a thing to help you have a baby, which induces you into a labor, like you're having a baby. So immediate complications from an abortion can cause hemorrhaging, hematoma, damage of the tears to the cervix, puncture of the uterus, and blood clots. Danger of an infection is highly plausible when you have an abortion, which an infection can come from when the doctors are inside you removing the fetus. They can leave pieces of the placenta, and sometimes they can sometimes leave pieces of the baby in there. So whenever you do that, it has a high cause for an infection, and you really don't want that happening. In the United States, an abortion is the second most common surgical procedure next to tonsillectomy. So that means that it's really up there. Tonsillectomies are like 2 and 4, have 50% chance of you having a tonsillectomy. So that's really high for an abortion rate too. Half of pregnancies among women are unattended, and 4 of these are terminated by abortion. So when they have their baby, most of the time they're by themselves, and they cause themselves to have an abortion, and it goes into a lot of like really dangerous things. The 21% of all pregnancies end in abortion. So out of 100%, that's a lot of percentage of people not killing their unborn child because they don't necessarily want it, and for no apparent reason. And 1 in 10 women will have an abortion by the age of 20. So that's a lot of people. So between 15 to 17 years of age, there's a lot of women having an abortion because they don't want their unwanted kid. Most people who have an abortion are in low income or poverty areas. So there are people in really bad situations. So the alternative to abortion can be adoption. Many people want to adopt small babies. And babies are so lovable and kind, so they rather adopt a baby rather than having to adopt a teenager, where they can mold the baby into what they want, as they call a model citizen, rather than a teenager who's probably already just did a lot of other stuff that you can't even name. But babies are more likely to be adopted. So when you have a baby, instead of aborting it, you should let other people who don't have the privilege of having a baby, or don't have the body to have a baby, or are too old to have a baby, you should let them have the baby. You should have babies for them. I mean, if you don't want it, you shouldn't kill the kid, because the kid has no say in whether he wants to live or die. So you shouldn't make that choice for him. You should let the baby live so that another couple can have it, and you probably won't even have to dabble in the baby or mess with the baby ever again. So parenting is another option, and it's when many people like to have and care for a child on a temporary timetable. So they'll have the baby as long as they can without having to adopt it, but they'll care for the baby the best they can while you make up your mind if you want to keep the kid, or if you want to give him away to an adoption agency or anything. So it just depends on what you want to do with the baby. So aborting it wouldn't be the best option. Foster care is also another way where you can come in, when people come in and they're looking to adopt a kid, but they don't know, they are still in the process of doing it. So they'll keep the kid, and they'll get money from the government for having the kid. So when they have the kid, they'll care for it the best that they can, and they'll love it the best that they can, and they're looking to adopt it or send it back, or I mean, there's other alternatives to just aborting a kid. I mean, God didn't want you to just kill an unborn kid, even if you don't want to. I mean, who has the right? You don't have the right to kill something just because you don't want it. And I mean, it has life. Ever since that cell went into the womb, it had life. So you don't want to abort kids, because I mean, what if your mother had aborted you? So you want to do the best you can for the kid, even though you don't possibly want it. I mean, you might change your mind once you see the baby's eyes. So this is my persuasive speech on abortion. I hope you guys like it. Thanks for listening. Yes, 6:10.